Prologue, The Turkey's Thanksgiving Surprise. We spend hours color-coding digital calendars and mapping out 5-year plans. We project our retirement savings down to the decimal and promise ourselves that this Monday, the new workout routine is definitely going to stick. Then life hits, a sudden crash, a global crisis, or just a random Tuesday that ruins everything. We feel blindsided. But honestly, why are we always so shocked when the script flips? Think about a turkey. It's well-fed and deeply optimistic. Every afternoon, a human brings grain. Day 1, fed. Day 2, fed. By day 500, the bird is convinced humans are benevolent creatures whose only job is to look out for it. It has never felt safer. Then comes the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. The human shows up, but there's no grain. Something completely outside the bird's history happens, and its world falls apart. The irony? The same hand that fed it for 1,000 days is the one that wrings its neck. The turkey felt safest right when the actual risk was at its absolute peak. Everything it learned from the past turned out to be a lie. We're that turkey. We build our safety on what happened yesterday, completely blind to the risks hiding just around the corner. Black Swan logic makes what you don't know far more relevant than what you do know. Relevant. In standard English, this just means connected or applicable. But in a world that doesn't follow the rules, it carries a dangerous weight. It's not just about what is fitting, it's about what dictates your fate. If you spend weeks on a PowerPoint for a client who goes bankrupt the morning of your pitch, those slides aren't relevant anymore. Your prep didn't matter. The thing you had no clue about was the only factor that actually decided the outcome. We focus on the grain we got yesterday. We're so busy looking at what's visible that we forget the most relevant part is the Thanksgiving holiday we don't even know exists. Chapter 1. The Brain's Lying Instinct. Why are we always blind to these life-altering surprises? It's a bit embarrassing. Our brains are compulsive liars. We can't handle true chaos. When the world feels messy and random, our hardware panics. To soothe that anxiety, we use a defense mechanism, the narrative fallacy. We take disconnected facts and stitch them together with a comforting thread of cause and effect. Think about a breakup. You lie awake at 3 a.m. replaying the tape, thinking, if I hadn't sent that one text, we'd still be together. Or watch a financial analyst on the news. When the market crashes, they don't say it's random. They invent a reason, perhaps a minor election or a banker's cough. But those reasons are fabricated after the fact. History doesn't care about our scripts. The world doesn't move in logical steps. It jumps and fractures. We tell these stories because we don't have the mental space for billions of random data points. We compress chaos into a plot just to fit it inside our heads. Ideas come and go. Stories stay. Stay. In school, it's just the opposite of leave.
But here, it's a stubborn, inescapable occupation of the mind. Facts and rational ideas can be erased by new data, but a compelling story takes root in our biology and refuses to be evicted. Think of it like this. He tried to forget an embarrassing mistake, but the memory decided to stay. It's not passive, it's a hijacking of your mental space. We think we're rational planners, but we're just telling ourselves bedtime stories. And as long as we're hypnotized by these plots, the next disaster is just waiting off stage. Chapter 2. Welcome to Extremistan. What is the truth our brains are trying to hide? Imagine a stadium with 1,000 random people. If we calculate their total weight and add the heaviest person on Earth to the group, the total barely changes. This is Mediocristan, a world of physical limits and gravity. If you eat a massive dinner, you won't suddenly weigh 5,000 pounds. But if we calculate the net worth of those same people and invite Bill Gates onto the field, everything changes. That one person represents 99.9% of the total wealth. The rest of us become a rounding error. This is Extremistan. It's where wealth, book sales, YouTube views, and pandemics live. None of these obey the laws of gravity. They are informational, not physical. This is why we feel anxious. We're using a brain that evolved in Mediocristan to navigate Extremistan. We expect linear growth, while the world behaves like a virus. It feels unfair because it is. It's a winner-take-all environment. In Extremistan, inequalities are such that one single observation can disproportionately impact the aggregate, or the total. Disproportionately. Proportion means a balanced share, but when you add dis and eightly, it becomes a wrecking ball. It describes a world where cause and effect have completely lost their minds. Think of social media. You post 100 great photos that get 20 likes. Then you upload a blurry video of your cat falling off a Roomba, and it gets 10 million views. That video disproportionately redefines your entire online presence. Or one thoughtless email at 2 a.m. disproportionately destroys a 20-year reputation. In Extremistan, the pie isn't shared, it's devoured. If we treat our lives as if they have physical limits, we'll always be blindsided when a single wave washes away the beach. Chapter 3. The Silence of the Drowned. We love success stories. We buy biographies of billionaires and copy their habits. The 4:30 a.m. wake-up call, the kale smoothie, the risk-taking. We assume that if we copy the inputs, we'll get the same output. But there's an invisible flaw here. 2,000 years ago, the Roman orator Cicero wrote about Diagoras, who was shown portraits of worshippers who survived a shipwreck. The message was, "Prayer saves you." Diagoras asked, "Where were the pictures of those who prayed then drowned?" They're nowhere. Dead people don't advertise. This is silent evidence. We're obsessed with survivors, ignoring the graveyard of failures filled with people who were just as brave and optimistic. We see successful restaurants and think it's a great business. We don't see the thousands of chefs who worked just as hard and went bankrupt. We attribute success to skill, ignoring that the difference between the billionaire and the failure is often just luck. History hides both black swans and its black swan generating ability from us.
Hide and generate. Hide means out of sight. Generate means to create. Think about your social media feed. The algorithm is designed to generate an illusion of perfection, successful CEOs, perfect vacations. At the same time, it hides the messy reality, the failed side hustles, and the lonely nights. You're comparing your messy life to a highlight reel that intentionally hides the drowned and generates only the survivors. Real-life example. The social media algorithm is designed to generate FOMO by quietly hiding the messy reality of everyday life. When we realize the world only shows us the survivors, we can stop being so hard on ourselves for not being billionaires yet. We can stop taking reckless leaps. Surviving the unpredictable ocean of life is already a win.
Epilogue. The elegance of not running for trains. We spend our lives exhausted, sprinting on a treadmill of expectations. The world is unpredictable, the rules are hidden, and failure is common. How do we handle this? We refuse to play the game on their terms. Think about a morning when you're late. You dash down the subway stairs, spilling coffee, lunging for the doors, and they slam in your face. You're left panting on the platform, feeling defeated. But why does it sting? It's because we surrendered our dignity to a transit schedule. We let a metal box dictate our self-worth. Missing a train is only painful if you run after it. Painful. We usually use this for physical sensations, but here the pain is psychological. It's the sting of failing an expectation. If you choose not to sprint, if you just stroll down the platform, the missed train loses its power to hurt us.
Real-life example. Social media is painful if you're constantly comparing your life to everyone else's highlight reel. This applies to more than just commutes. Failing to meet society's standards is only painful if you're scrambling to achieve them. If you resign from the rat race and define your own success, you stand above it all. It's hard to lose a game that you designed yourself. We get worked up over small stuff, a bad meal, a cold coffee. But the fact that we're breathing and experiencing this chaotic world is already a miracle. We've already won the biggest lottery in the universe. We don't need to run for trains anymore.